lot of people ask us, why did you quit your 9 to 5 job? We went against what society believes with our corporate job, and we both quit. And I'm so excited to tell you why exactly we did
So this is something that a lot of people ask because before the pandemic, we were leaving a job that, we had benefits, we had a great RSP program, we had a salary, and ultimately people thought we were living our dream life. We had a job that we did love. But we did have those questions. Why would you quit your 9 to 5 job? There are so many reasons why we left our 9 to 5 job. And the main thing for me was just ultimately having the freedom to live the life I actually want.
Exactly, because I feel like when I went back to work after my maternity leave, I really struggled. And I went back to work because I was felt pressured by society to say, you know what, everybody's dream life is that 9 to 5 job. And I felt like in order for me to be happy, I needed to go back to that 9 to 5 job because it's everything that everybody wanted, right? It was that stable pay, it was a really good job, everything. But there was something in me to say, but I want to be spending more time with my daughter. I want to be spending more time with my husband. I want to be traveling the world. That is not my dream life. My dream life is something different. And I feel like by me going back to work after maternity leave, I remember that was going against everything that everybody thought. I know I had so many people that, really looked down on me for going, I feel like for quitting because it was something that was, I feel like everybody was like, no, you have everything you want. Why do you need to leave?
When I first started, I actually had 2 promotions within my first year of being in that job, which was great for me because I was constantly learning and getting challenged. And then I got to a point where I felt like I stopped learning. Essentially, for me, things kind of became the same thing over and over again. Now, the problem was I had these ideas of things I could do to help the department and grow, but at the same time, I was getting burnt out. For me, I take a lot of pride in what I do. I really struggle with the idea of not doing a good job because for me that's kind of my love language is those actions and doing things for others. So when I started feeling like I stopped caring, for me that was a sign that I needed to move on.
I completely agree. I feel like a lot of times, so many people out there, they can feel burnt out. I remember feeling burnt out. I remember working crazy hours, feeling like that was my life. That's it. I need to work 12 hours a day just because that is my life until I stepped away in maternity leave. And I remember once you step away from that life, it's like you realize there's more to life than that 9 to 5 job. There's more to it that is important to me. So, Chelsea, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, those out there right now that are feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling burnt out, they know that they're confused. They know that they don't want to be in their 9 to 5 job, but they don't really know they don't want to quit either, and they're just feeling confused. And you've already been there. What was your point of that's it, I need to quit? What was your why factor? What made you decide this is the day I'm going to quit my job? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there's multiple things. For a full year I started questioning everything. And honestly, I went on a trip to Ecuador where I spent 10 days in the jungle where I was alone with my thoughts. And I went to a shaman that really feel did a lot, even though in the moment I didn't think about it. But when I came back from that trip, and I was the only person in the office, even though I've been away from the world for forever, it felt like, I
Yeah.
started realizing what was important to me. And for some reason, that job was not it. And I was in that moment where I was like, I don't want to be here. So then I started looking for other jobs and I started applying for other jobs. And I found things where I could have been paid double for doing half of the work I was doing. And I showed my manager saying, look, this is what I can apply for. This is what's out there for me. And then it got to a point where I felt like I genuinely cared so much and I did everything I could for this place. And I realized I loved my job more than it loved me. I feel like when I started having a voice within the management team, I became a problem. I was putting in all these extra hours without getting any benefits or getting a bonus that could sustain me. I also realized that I was giving my heart and soul to something that can't even pay my bills. I was spending hours at this venue and I couldn't even afford rent. So my issue was never the money initially, but when I started realizing that I stopped falling in love with it, I realized that there was nothing actually keeping me there. I realized that I'm not getting paid well enough to even justify this. And ultimately, I felt like I was trapped. I felt like when I had the opportunity to be a leader, I was kind of told I shouldn't be. And that's where I really struggled because I feel like for me, there were people in the role that reported to me and I could listen and understand with what they were doing. And I genuinely wanted to help. And when I thought that I had a voice to help change the things to make the other employees' lives easier, I felt like I was shushed. I started feeling like it became a very sexist place by the end. And I wouldn't have normally ever said that. But by the time I left, I really felt like the fact that I was a woman held me back.
And I feel like you're not the only one. I feel like there's so many people out there that feel the exact same way, where they feel like, honestly, they feel trapped. They feel trapped. They're not sure where, like, they don't really know if there's anything better on the other side. And I know that someone's always said to me, if you leave your 9 to 5 job, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. They always said that, like, don't leave. The grass isn't greener. And it's like, and you think, oh my God, maybe they're right. Maybe all to life is this 9 to 5 job where you're overworked, where they don't care about, like, your health. You feel like you can't take a day off because, you can't take even a mental day off, right? Like, just because you need it, that's not good enough. You can't take a day off for yourself. You can't do any of these things because it's overwhelming, and you take something off for yourself and you feel guilty. You think that's normal. You think it's normal to be, like, have essentially, like, it's crazy to think about it like this, but though now that we've had a business for 2 years, I feel like now you think, and I look back at a 9 to 5 job, like someone else is in control of your salary and your job. And I know a lot of people have thought that there's a lot of job security with a 9 to 5 job, but if COVID has taught us anything, that's not always the case. When you own your own business, and this is why I absolutely love what we do, because when you own your own business, you work hard for it and you will receive any benefits from it. And you are ultimately in charge of your own income. You don't have because essentially, like, Chelsea, like, I remember working like 12-hour days and then the next day being up and ready to work. I remember those days. I remember just feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. And I know we're not the only ones. And I feel like when you really start to evaluating yourself, thinking about what do you want in your life? Are you happy with your 9 to 5 job? Because I remember being incredibly happy and loving every single minute of it. So if you're happy with your 9 to 5 job, that's great. But if you're not, start thinking about why exactly you're not happy and really start evaluating with what would make you happy.
If you're in a job where you're debating on whether or not you should stay or go, comment below. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you're feeling. Also, if you like more videos like this where Steph and I kind of rant for a little while, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. See you again next week. Bye.